I am joined by James now from the Silverson's team, just to tell us a little bit about what they have been bringing to PPMA this year, how it's all going, and we're going to have a little look around some of their technologies. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, very excited to have day two. We're nearly halfway through the show now. And it's been a good event as always. It's one of our staple shows.
Fantastic. All right, well, for anyone who doesn't know what Silverson does, would you mind just talking us through it?
Absolutely. So Silverson Machines is the original pioneer, innovator, and now the leading manufacturer of high shear machines and mixers. And these machines, they're quite specialist, but they do the jobs that conventional mixers just aren't up to the task for. So, if you imagine to put it in simple terms, when you're making your cup of coffee at home and you mix it with a teaspoon, it's up to the task. But sometimes when you make a hot chocolate, it's a lot harder. You feel like you need something more specialist, so you go for your electric-powered mixer, and it does a much better job. So Silverson's a bit like that, but on an industrial scale. So it's really taking those jobs that are challenging and finding equipment that can do it very quickly for our customers. And this is a really popular thing in the food and pharmaceutical industry, but also in chemical industries. There's a myriad of applications. And so, PPMA being such a broad show, it's really good for us to showcase what we do here as well.
Fantastic, and I love that, sort of that real efficiency for your customers in whatever industry they're in. Okay, what have we got then behind us? I know we've come over here to have a little look at some of these components first before we go and look at some of the machines that are really, I think we've got a whirlpool going on over there, but we'll have a look at that in a second.
Well, Louise, I thought I'd show you the foundations of how the Silverson machine works, because a lot of the machines that Silverson makes is based on this principle, and it's all about the rotor and stator mixer. So inside our mixers, you'll have two main components. You've got the rotor here, that'll be spinning at a very high speed, and then very closely surrounding this, you'll have this part here called the stator, which, as the name suggests, it's a stationary component, but the two fit together, and then the rotor will turn inside the stator. And that's the motion that creates that high shear mixing. It mixes in gums, thickeners, sugars, pharmaceutical components. That was I suppose, how do you describe our equipment in 1 minute? It would be down to those two components there. And then everything else that I'll show you today is primarily based on that principle of taking these fluids, putting them under high shear, high intensity mixing, and producing these lovely homogeneous mixes which our pharmaceutical customers and our food customers rely on for their products. So here we've got a great example of that. This is one of our inline mixers, but this is I guess in the grand scheme of things, this is more of a large-scale machine, and the first thing that would be useful to show you is the batch machine, which is just behind us here. So this is a technology that's been around for, this is back to the 50s when Silverson first pioneered this equipment, and it was originally used in the ice cream industry. So it's been used for making these lovely food products. You've got the mixer there that drops into a vessel. It's a very versatile design, and it does that high shear mixing on a very fast time scale, and then you can take it out, put it into a different vessel, and then produce your next mix. Now, when we scale that process up, a lot of the challenges that our customers face are how do we do this on a larger scale? How do we make a ton of the product or 2 tons of the product? And that's really where we move from this technology to the inline version. So if we come back to an inline mixer here, but we'll pass by this because I've got a larger machine to show you as well. So we'll carry on through here.
Okay, perfect. So we'll come along here past all sorts of machines going on here. I'm loving the whirlpool. Oh, great. Yeah, so this is like a larger version of what we've just seen.
It's a larger, slightly fancier version of what we just seen there. So we've got this lovely all stainless steel machine, but it is still an inline machine. So you've got the inlet to the machine here, you've got an outlet there that will recirculate through your vessel. And what our customers will do with this machine is, for example, if you're in the food industry and you need to create a xanthan gum suspension, which is a very challenging mix, traditionally you might put the xanthan gum in the top of the vessel to mix it. And that's tricky. Xanthan gum floats on the surface for a long time, it forms lumps. Nobody wants lumps in their yogurt or their food sauce, it's not very nice. So they use this machine and they'll put the xanthan gum in this hopper here. And what the mixer will do is it will recirculate it at very high speed, giving that high shear, and it will draw the xanthan gum in through the hopper, and then less than 1 second, draws the xanthan gum into the high shear workhead that's positioned down here in this, we call this the mixer body, and it instantly creates that lovely homogeneous xanthan gum solution, and by the time it goes back to the vessel, you've already got your perfect mix. So it's a very fast process, it's a very consistent process, and that's one of the technologies. Again, inside that mixer is that original, that rotor stator component that I showed you earlier. So a lot of the Silverson technologies are based on that, and they rely on the high precision manufacturing that Silverson can do. But another thing that our customers love is all of these machines are made in the UK. So especially for our UK customers, they've got fantastic support. For our customers here visiting us at PPMA know that we're basically down the road from them. They can visit our site in person. We conduct trials on site as well. We can do that at their site. We can do it at ours. The options are all there, so there's all that support available. And really, I think it's peace of mind for our customers, because they know that regardless, if they're speaking to us, we'll find a solution that works. We won't sell a machine to them until we can actually physically see that it's working exactly the way they want it to.
And that must bring it such a peace of mind to your customers as well, and really help build up that trust to hopefully have that long-term relationship with them.
Yes, absolutely. It makes my job very easy, because the machines speak for themselves then. I don't have to sell the machine, it could just sell itself, and that's the way we like it.
Amazing. So how has the last year been for you and the team over at Silverstone? Lots going on?
Oh, plenty going on, absolutely. And there's always new applications that we're faced with. And I think that comes with the fact that a Silverson machine is by design for difficult mixing applications. And with that comes with the challenge that we're always faced with something new. The reason somebody comes to us is because they've developed a new product, they're not sure how to make it, nobody else is sure how to make it, they need something quite specialist. And so of course, the challenging mixing applications come to us, so every day's a school day, we're always learning new things, and we're always finding new ways that our mixers can help our customers.
Absolutely, amazing. And I know you touched on this briefly earlier, but why is it important that you're here at PPMA?
I think it's consistent for us. I mean, like I said before, PPMA is a very broad show. It covers a lot of different industries, it covers a lot of different processes, and we find that a lot of our existing customers come here, and that's always lovely to speak to them, hear about what's new with them. They'll be telling us about new things that they've done with our mixers that they've got, but also we meet a lot of new faces here as well, and for that reason, Silverson's probably been coming to PPMA well over 20 years, and like I said, it's one of our staple shows.
Hopefully 20 more to come.
Exactly. Yes, that's what we want.
Amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Do come down and chat to James and the team. And as we just heard, if you have a problem, this guy is going to solve it for you with one of Silverson's machines.